Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. So in today's video we're going to be doing something a lot different than what I normally do, obviously. So I'm inside my house right now, of course, and I really apologize for my voice being kind of messed up because I literally woke up not even like 5 minutes ago. So, because I literally don't get the chance to do like anything because of how much I work. So I just want to get a couple things out of the way. So yeah, because of how much I work, it makes it really complicated for me to do YouTube to a certain degree. That's why there was no video last week or last weekend. On top of that, one else I wanted to point out is I just don't have the breath for anything right now. I will be at Tecumseh Trails on, I think it's September the 3rd, which is this upcoming Saturday. So if you guys want to meet me out there, then I will be there pretty much almost that entire day for the most part, because this is Labor Day weekend, so I want to take advantage of that. So I just wanted to get all that out of the way. In today's video, we're going to be going over the 2022 lineup, or the XMR lineup for Can-Am. We're going to be going over only the ATVs because I'm not like side-by-side blogs. I don't really know anything about side-by-sides. We will touch on one of them at the very end just because it's new and I think it's kind of cool. But other than that, we're just going to be focusing just on the ATVs, and I want to clear some things up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So starting things off, we're going to go ahead and start with okay, I want to make sure that that's still working properly. We're going to start with the new 2022 Can-Am Outlander MR 570, which is sits in the L chassis. Basically what this is like the XMR from 2021. Only the difference is that this one doesn't have power steering. That's literally the only difference. Like, if you take a look here, it doesn't have the Visco 4-lock. It doesn't have the throttle by wire. It doesn't have any of that. This is just our regular, 570. And it's showing the I thought it's supposed to have the okay, whatever. I thought it's supposed to have the DESS key, but according to the picture, I didn't see that. But I also saw the DPS thing on there as well. So there is one thing I need to clear up as well. Is it does come with the 28-inch Mega Mayhems on the cast aluminum wheels, but these are not 28s. Like I said, I've been saying this for years, and no one believes me. But all you gotta do is measure them. They're not 28s, because if they were 28s, not only would this little piece right here be cut back, but on top of that, these will be the same size tires as what I have on my 850. Because if you measure those out, if you've seen my my first video of when I bought it, I showed a picture of them side by side with the Outlaw 2s, and they were literally the exact same size. So I just thought I would get that out of the way. Now my opinions on this, I know that Outdoors with Tayler was looking at this as well. I think this is a really good thing. I don't think this machine's gonna stick around very much, just because it doesn't really offer anything super special other than being cheap. I do like the color scheme. I think red looks really nice on this thing. I like this look a little bit better than it having like the red rack or the red like front bumper. This is just a personal opinion on me. I think I like that a lot better. But having a cheap, affordable option to get into mudding is really, really nice. So, but it doesn't have like bead locks or the winch or anything like that, because the idea is to keep this thing, to keep the price down. That's the idea of it. So I understand why it doesn't come with a winch and stuff like that. I mean, it makes sense. That being said, though, the shocks are still the same shocks that we all love and hate, at least on the front. So just remember that if you're getting this machine or getting the 570, I think the 650 has the same shocks. I could be wrong about that. Make sure that you upgrade these shocks, because you won't regret it. Trust me, you're gonna love yourself if you upgrade these shocks, and I think that this machine would be great if you do that. So other than that, not really anything special. It does have the 2021 gauge cluster, or 2020, or whenever they introduced this gauge cluster. They didn't have this in 2019 because mine was a 2019 and they didn't have this. So Overall, really good for its price tag. I like them keeping the price down. I like that. That's really good. Having an entry level machine be cheap and getting into mudding is really, really good. So kudos to K&M on their part. So next in line, we have the actual XMR 570. One thing I forgot to point out on the other one is that the cost was down by, I think, around $600 to $700 from the previous year because it doesn't have power steering. So whereas the price on this one is up by, let's see, what is that? That's $800 roughly. So and with the extra $800, what are you getting? So you're getting the front locker. If this will load, that'd be great. So you are getting the Visco 4-lock along with the throttle by wire, and you are getting the DESS key, which me personal opinion, I think the DESS key is stupid. I don't like it. I see what they're talking about in terms of theft. Like, I get that part, but like in my opinion, I just don't like it because it's easy to fly off. That's kind of my biggest complaint with it, is just it's really easy to fly off. I have not had mine fly off yet, but by the way that I ride, I can see my foot hitting it or something and then just having it fly off. And I've heard it fly off on other people as well. So I don't know if the throttle is electronic or not. I think it is. It might be for the L models. I don't really know. I can't confirm that, but there's not really much else to really say about it. It still has the same shocks and everything. Literally the only difference between this and the MR 570 is that this one has the front locker, tri-mode dynamic power steering, along with the throttle by wire. And I think that's cool, but I don't know. The throttle by wire is kind of like up in the air. Like I guess that's kind of okay. I don't really see much of a problem with that. I don't know if the sport mode is going to act like the normal mode from the previous year, or if it's going to kind of boost it a little bit in power. I really hope that it kind of does that and gives it a little bit more low-end snap. They kind of unlock a little bit more power from that engine. But that being said, I do want to talk about the Visco 4-lock for a minute. So the Visco 4-lock is really interesting in the way it works. I just want to talk about this now so I don't have to talk about it later. That way we can kind of skim through the rest of the models. But the Visco 4-lock here, so when's the best time to really use this? Well, it's best to use this in technical riding. It's best to use it there, or it's best to use it when you are going at low speeds. You want to be able to crawl out of a mud hole. The reason why I didn't use the Visco 4-lock when I was going through if you saw my previous video, I was running through mud holes and I didn't have the Visco 4-lock activated. I actually activated it while I was in the middle of the mud hole or getting ready to get out. And the reason why is because it limits you to 20 miles an hour. Now, Rednecks put out a video on the Outlander 850, which is a really good video, and I'll link in the description down below for you guys to see it because it's a really good detailed video. He mentioned that if you hold down the override button, you can actually override the speed limiter, which is good. But the problem is that because of how you have to hold the override, you're losing a lot of hand grip on your handlebars. So normally, if you're going to be flying through mud holes, like if you're up in Canada or something like that, especially, Visco 4-lock really doesn't do a whole lot because Visco lock activates just fine at that point. But because the biggest misconception with Visco 4-lock or Visco lock, the original Visco lock and Visco lock QE is the same thing, is a lot of people still believe to this day, and I don't know why, that it locks in no matter what, which is not the case. It locks in under a certain speed. Like, you have to be going fast in order for it to lock in. It's not like a Polaris where Polaris will kick in really no matter what speed you're going, as long as the front tire slip, it kicks in. Whereas the Can-Am they don't do that. They run in limited slip. You go a certain speed. I don't really know the speed it is to activate it, and that will cause the Visco lock to kick in. And I actually had a really old video on my Outlander 450 about this. I mean, the video's old and it's not that great of a video, but it really does at least showcase how the Visco lock really truly works. But so yeah, the Visco 4-lock is definitely nice to have when you need to crawl out of mud holes and go into technical riding and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I still don't believe that it's as good, or I don't believe that the Can-Am is as good as the Honda in terms of technical riding, just because it's still belt driven and you can't really crawl over stuff the way you can with the Honda, and along with the fact that they're also heavy. But this is a very good step in the right direction. I mean, this is this was a needed thing. Honestly, in my opinion, this was a needed thing, and I'm glad they finally did this. In my opinion, it should have been done a long time ago, but that's just my opinion. So, other than that, not really anything else to say about the 570. I like the Mega Mayhems. The Mega Mayhems are really good tires. They hold a lot better on the trail than the Cryptids do. I can tell you that right now, because the Cryptids are just not good on the trail at all. They ride smooth, but that's about all they got going for them. They ride hard as a rock otherwise, which is weird because they have soft tread, but whatever. So let's go ahead and move on. So now we get down to the bottom and we move on to the Outlanders. So now we have the 650 XMR, which is bugged right now. This is supposed to be the 650. If you click on the actual wrench, you'll see it pop up here. There we go. So the 650 is in a really weird spot. So where do I even begin with it? So my problem with the 650 is I think that it is priced a little bit too high. This is my personal opinion. It has the smaller gauge. It does get the Visco 4-lock along with the throttle by wire and the DES key which it's had for years now. But other than that, it hasn't changed really at all, other than the color scheme, which I do want to mention I don't like. This is just a personal thing. I don't like the color schemes of the new ones at all. I much prefer the kind of the yellow color scheme over it. That's just a personal opinion. But you don't get a rear bumper with it. You get the 28-inch Mega Mayhems, which are actually about 26.5, maybe even 27s. Because, again, they don't measure out to 28s. A lot of people keep saying that, but they don't. They can't. It's not possible. So, I think this thing is just priced a little bit too high. I really do. Now, we'll get to the Renegade in a minute, but obviously that one's a little bit more expensive. But I remember back when they had the Renegade 570, and I think this and that were pretty close in price, along with the 850 as well. Because it's only like a $1,300 to $1,400 difference between this and the 850, and you might as well just get the 850, because I've ridden the 650, and after riding my 850, the power difference is just, you might as well just get it, unless you're afraid of the power, which that I can completely understand. Or if you are legitimately on a tight budget and you just cannot get any more money but even at that point, I do think that it'd be best to just kind of work up the extra money, because you get the regular shocks with this, which are not good. So that being said, though, I know that all sounds negative, but I do think like this is a really underappreciated machine. But like I said, it's just the fact that I think that it's just priced just a little bit out of its range, because the 570 offers enough differences for this thing to be almost similar in price. That's just a personal opinion by me, though. So anyways, we'll move on to the 850. So now we move on to the Outlander 850 XMR. This is the bike that I got, which is my 2021, and there's no changes really at all other than the color. The only big change that I see, if anything, is it doesn't have handguards anymore, which I don't understand why. Like, they raised the price on it, but you take the handguards away, and they took it away from the 1000 as well, and I just don't understand why. It's not that big of a deal, but I kind of wish they just left them alone. That's just my opinion. But you do get the Visco 4-lock throttle by wire along with the DESS key, and you also get a winch. Now, I've heard that the winch isn't that good. I've heard. I don't know. I'm going to be obviously testing mine a lot, pulling myself out, if ever, and we'll see how long it lasts. But I can tell you right now that in terms of reliability wise, mine so far not the best, because I had the rock shoot through the rim, which is insane because that never happened on my Honda, and it also didn't happen on my 570 either. So don't know what happened there, but okay. Other than that, 850, nothing really wrong with it. It's obviously a perfectly fine machine. This is what a lot of people invest in. I know that people kept gushing about two YouTubers. I think it was like Brandon Price, and I can't remember the guy's name. Diego something. I know his first name is Diego. I don't know his last name, but I don't know. A lot of people were talking about like how they have and stuff like that, which doesn't really bother me at all. I don't really care. I only got it because I got a good deal on it, so I'm not complaining. You do get the Fox 1.5 podium shocks, which are almost 100% necessary. So yeah, I don't know. There's nothing else really to say about it. I mean, I don't like the color scheme, and they got rid of the handguards and raised the price for, at least in my opinion, seemingly no reason. So okay, so let's just move on to a 1000. So now we move on to the Outlander 1000R, and I mean, one of the things I do want to check while I have this thing here is I do want to check the suspension, see if it has the QS3. No, it doesn't. Okay, so all right. So this has the regular 1.5 podium shocks, the same thing that's on the 850. This has the extra wheelbase. One thing they did do for the 1000, and I think they may have done it for the Renegade too. I don't know. I'll have to check it once I get there. Is it does have the kind of a similar color scheme to what it had in 2019. It's not the exact same. It's not. Like, a lot of people think it's the exact same. It's not, because you can clearly see the differences right here in the plastics. That's a little bit more on the silver side, whereas back in 2019 it was a lot more brown. So that is in fact different, regardless of what people say. It does have the Max chassis that we all love and hate. I say love and hate because there are people out there who do like it, and I don't blame them. But for me, the thing is a school bus, especially in the trails that I ride up here in Ohio. It's just, the thing is just too long. So, which is the reason why I didn't get it. It's just too long. It wouldn't fit on my trailer along with the Honda. I'd have to throw the Honda back to the truck, I just don't want to do that. But nothing really to say about here. It's still got the Visco 4 lock along with the throttle by wire and the DSS key, and along with the winch, and the bigger gauge cluster, which is the 850 had as well, which I forgot to mention. Other than that, lost its handguards, which again, don't know why, but other than that, pretty much same overall vehicle. It hasn't changed at all, other than the color scheme and losing the handguards, just the 850. So now we'll move on to the Renegades, because we do have a new old vehicle to talk about. So we'll move on. All right, so now we move on to the Renegades. So sorry, I checked time. For the 2022 models, we do have a new old Renegade. It's basically the same Renegade body, only has the 650 motor now. Now, it's funny because this is only $100 difference between this and the 850. Like, I personally, to me, I don't understand why the price of this is so high, because this is what, like $1,200 between this and the regular 850, or not 850, but the regular 650, the Outlander. So, like, honestly, I'd rather invest in the Outlander than I would in this. Like, the only reason you'd be getting this is for the Fox 1.5 shocks along with the Rhino horn, and I think that's about it, because I don't think it offers anything other than that. I mean, obviously you get the Visco 4 lock, throttle by wire, along with the DSS key, which is, again, had for years. And it does have the smaller gauge cluster that it had in, I think it was 2019, actually. No, I think it was 2019 or 2020 when they got this. Or no, it's 2020. I'm sorry, 2020, 2021, whatever. I'm not 100% sure when they implemented this screen, to be completely honest. But because it was either 2020 or 2021. Either way, I do think that them raising the engine up to 650, I do think that was needed to happen, because there was really no justifiable reason to buy this over the L570, other than the fact that you wanted something that looked, I guess, a little bit cooler, because it had the Fox shocks, which I can't blame people there, but because of its price tag, I just personally am just not a fan of that. Yes, it looks cool, but my biggest issue with the Renegade is the fact that, see, back in 2016 and stuff, again, I don't know when they did this, and I don't know why they did it, but it used to have split lever braking, but now it has combined braking like every other Can-Am, along with the fact that you can clearly see right there, that there's no brake caliper. Like, there's one brake caliper on this side. They took it away on this side. It used to have four-wheel disc braking, but now it doesn't. So I don't know. That's just mechanical stuff for me. I pay attention to details like that. One of the other things I don't like about it, rhino horn. I don't like the rhino horn. That's just a personal opinion. If you turn your handlebars, contrary to popular belief, you actually do hit the rhino horn. You also get the 26.5-inch Mega Mayhems. Again, not 28s. Measure them. You do get beadlocks, which, I mean, okay. I guess that's kind of cool. It's not really necessary on this, other than looks, but whatever. No winch, which for its price tag at this point in time, I mean, like, I don't know why it doesn't have a winch. It might as well have one for its price tag, but I mean, okay. But yeah, let me go ahead and get into the reasons I don't like it. So yeah, rhino horn, the handlebars, the hand guards actually hit the rhino horn when you're turning turning the handlebars, so that's kind of annoying. If you roll it, all these plastics and stuff are basically just going to get kind of crunched up, which kind of sucks. Because I have already put the 850 on its side. It wasn't on purpose at like a high speed or anything like that. We were going into a mud hole, which is the same mud hole I went into in the last video where it got like really, really like tipsy right before I went through the final water hole. I put the stock tires back on it, and it kind of made the machine skinnier. Because it's a little bit wider with the MSA M20 wheels on it, and I put it on its side, right on its side. I was able to just push it back because it only like moved like maybe like 4 inches. But like if this was a Renegade, it would have probably crushed some of these plastics and stuff on it. I think these are the floorboard is actually steel though, so that would have helped a little bit. But these plastics and stuff had like little to no protection. There's also no rear rack. I know you can add one, but it looks kind of stupid to me. Unless you want to do a custom one like what Oscar Cruiser does, which that one looks really good. But alongside that, you don't get the Rad Relocate Kit, which is really annoying. And the Rad Relocate Kit doesn't even look that great. It just looks out of place. Like it just looks really weird. And I'm going to tell you right now, having a Rad up top is just a godsend. This right here is just really annoying, and I wouldn't like dealing with this at all. So overall, I think the them raising the engine is cool, but they honestly probably should have just left the price tag alone. Honestly, that probably sounds really stupid, but like, why would you buy this over the 850? Honestly, at this point, other than like looks and stuff like that, because you're still getting the Fox 1.1, the Fox 1.5 podium shocks as you are in the 850, and you get a winch. The snorkels are not quite as high, but they're still very high. I guess you're missing the hand guards and the mud strap, but I mean, like, even that's not that big of a deal, And plus, you're getting a lot more power as well, just like I mentioned with the other 650, because this is the exact same motor. So I don't know. I go back and forth on this one. I mean, it looks cool. I get that, but I just don't see its price tag being justifiable. That's just my personal opinion. So let's go ahead and move on to the 1000. So now we kind of reached the end of the road here with the XMRs, at least the ATVs anyways, because we still got one more to talk about. But now we got the Renegade 1000 XMR. So this has the Fox 1.5 QS3 shocks, which is fine. I don't see much really special with them. That's just, again, personal opinion. I think they're a lot easier to adjust. That's for damn sure. But other than that, I can't, kind of Literally, the only thing that's changed with this is the fact that you get the QS3 shocks along with the winch. You get beadlock wheels, obviously, but other than the color, it has not changed at all. You still get the Visco 4-lock throttle by wire along with the DS key and the winch. So you still get all of that rhino horn, gauge. Nothing's changed. It's still the same exact bike since 2021. It's just the fact that it has a different color scheme. Now, even with this one, you still don't get the four-wheel braking. You don't get that, and you don't get combined, or you don't get the split braking. You get combined braking as well. So, which is really annoying. But other than that, hasn't really changed very much. I know a lot of this seems really negative, but it's like, I don't know, it's just personal opinion for me. And I wouldn't trade mine for the 1000 only because I feel like there's not much of a difference between the two. I have ridden the 1000R and I don't. You can feel the power difference. Like you can feel it. It's there, but it's not significant enough for me to justify spending. What's the difference between this and my 850? Was it almost 3 grand ish? Yeah, it's almost 3 grand. Like I don't see a justifiable reason to spend 3 grand just for extra shocks and bead locks, because I'm pretty sure that I can get bead locks and then get the shocks, and my bike would still be not as expensive along with the mud strap. That's just, again, this is all just personal opinion. I do think that the bike is cool though, and I can see why people buy it because of the other 1000 having the long wheelbase. That's why Can-Am does that. So I can see why people buy this. I really do, and I'm not saying that people are dumb for buying it. I see 100% why they buy it. I really do. And that's totally fine. It's just, to me, I'd rather have something that has a little bit more mud protection, a little bit more utility, along with having the rad up top and having it look nice, rather than having it kind of sit out on the front and just look like it's not supposed to be there on the Renegade. So yeah, so that pretty much finishes off the ATV lineup. We are now going to move into one more machine that we got for 2022, which is really cool, and I only want to touch on it because I don't know that much about it, but I just want to talk about it just for a little bit because I think that it's awesome. So now we move on to the Commander, and you can clearly see here that we now, for 2022, have a Commander XMR. I don't know how much it was needed, but I do think that it's pretty cool. Now, one thing I do want to point out, first of all, is these tires. I don't recognize these tires. They must be kind of like, what are these tires actually? Swamp Force. That's a pretty cool name. So, XPS Swamp Forces. These look really cool, and they look like they'd ride really good on the trail. They look like they'd ride really well on the trail. But they also look like they would ride well in the mud. They don't look like they clean out very well, but I don't know, you'd have to see in time. The only thing I can note about this is, now, like I said, I'm not a side-by-side guy, so I can't really say a whole lot. But the one thing I do want to know, where did, actually, you know what, I'm not going to question it, whatever. But the winch is gone. Okay. The only thing I want to note about this is, why is the winch like put up here and not down here? I think Cruiser also mentioned this in his in like the promo video that he made, or whatever that video was. Why is that not? I don't know. I would think that you would want your winch down as low as possible, so it's pulling you up out of the mud and not into the mud. But that's just me. Other than that, I can't really say anything else. I think it's a really cool vehicle, because before I got my 850, I was really debating on either getting the Outlander 1000 6x6, which in the future I'm probably going to do something of that nature, I imagine, but that's probably going to be like, 2-3 years down the road. But if anything, I'd almost have to move in order to have space for the thing. But like, it's just, I was thinking about getting the what was it, the Maverick XMR, but I'm not a side-by-side guy, so I backed out of it. But I do think that this is still pretty cool. It looks like it has like its own gauge cluster here, and then it has the digitally encoded key, which I guess on this is a lot better because it's a lot softer. But one thing I see right here is it looks like you can unlock the rear, like the rear diff has its own locker, which is pretty cool. Makes it so you don't tear your yard up as bad. So I do like that. I think that's actually really cool, because I don't even know if the Maverick even has this. I might have said Commander XMR. I meant to say Maverick. Again, I'm really tired, so I work 14 hours a day, so just cut me some slack. But also, if you're barking, that's the dog. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, and it's got the obviously four-wheel drive and all that other stuff, obviously. So I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit, just because I thought the thing was pretty cool. And its price tag is not terrible for a side-by-side anyways. They've always been naturally expensive, and I guess for obvious reasons. So that's pretty much the end of the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that other garbage. In the next video, I'm hoping that it's either going to be a riding video, or it's either going to be that video, or I'm going to be reviewing my older videos, which I don't know which one's going to come in front of the other one. It just depends on how my schedule goes. But yeah, in the next video or video after that, I'll be reviewing my older videos. So it'll be for your guys' entertainment and my embarrassment. So why not, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and ride safe, and don't do stupid things.